Hi, everyone, and welcome to season 3, episode 5 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that's aiming for the crown, but usually winds up in the slime. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Lava, and with me are my co hosts.
Hello, lover. How you doing? Cardinal Smith here. Good to see you.
Good evening, everyone. Tomahawk here. Good to be back. How are we doing today, guys?
It's good to see you too, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. But we'll push on here. We'll push on. Let's keep the pleasantries out of the main podcast. We'll keep the pleasantries
All
for
right,
our Game of the Month club, all right? We are
back to the
enemies.
competitiveness.
You
This
might
is
remember I said this last week.
competition based, yes.
We are enemies. And that brings me on lovely to what is High Scores, High Stakes. High Scores, High Stakes is four friends, four PlayStations. Every week we pick a PlayStation game, we create a challenge in it, and then we compete in that challenge in a league table. And speaking of league tables, Cardinals, look at this slick podcasting going on right now. The league table from episode 4 looks a little something like this. In fourth place, on 5 points, is Sherry. In third place, with 7 points, is Cardinal. In second place, with 10 points, is Tomahawk. But leading the way, as per usual, the way God intended it, it is Mr. 7 in a row. It is me with 12 points. But last
Until the
week,
last episode,
Yep.
last week was not a good week. The
it
winning
was.
streak ended in
It was a great week.
it
It was
ended in
in
flames.
cataclysmic fashion, if one might remember.
It was wild. It was wild, and I vote that we delete that episode off the feed and never speak of it again.
I mean, you've
To be
downgraded
fair,
that from deleting the podcast forever, so to only delete the episode, I feel is a step in the right direction at least.
That never happened. So if
you
anyone who
could have won, and you may have won had you not glitched, but you did not.
I did not, I did not. Second was in the bag. I think it's fair to say. But anyway, enough of last week. As I said, it never happened. And speaking of things that never happens, we never give up plugging our social medias. And how can you find
Right.
us all over the internet? Really, really easy. Go to highscoreshighstakes.com. On the top of the page, you will find a whole load of links to social medias. You'll find links to Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. If you don't fancy doing that and you want to go to Discord, just in the description below is the link to Discord. Click it, go there, join in the conversations, and why not even play some games with us and other members of the High Scores, High Stakes community, specifically Helldivers 2. It is still flavor of the month, and it is still being played flat out by everybody. So why not? If you are listening to the podcast, and if you have been listening to the podcast for a while, and you have not yet followed, liked, or subscribed, depending on where you're watching or listening to this, fix that now. Do it now. I think it's above us on Spotify.
Above us, below
I
us,
think
who
so.
knows?
It's somewhere in the page. Minimize the video, find that subscribe, and subscribe. Why not? And then you'll be notified of every episode we do whenever it goes live. If you've already subscribed but you haven't left a review yet, remedy that as well by clicking the leave a review and leave a wee review for us. Five
We'll
stars
just give
all the way.
everyone a 5-second pause here now to let everyone do that.
Give him a chance.
That's 5
And we're
seconds.
back. That's it. Absolutely.
Respect.
So,
And if you've done all of that, but you haven't yet told your family or friends about the High Scores, High Stakes podcast, make sure you send me a wee text once you're finished listening to this episode. And with all of that out of the way, we have our question of the week from last week. And I can't remember what it was.
if I remember correctly, it was have you ever been done out of a glitch in games, competition, or racing, any broad strokes on any game?
Yes, I have it right here. That was not the question. It was close.
Was it not?
It was
No, okay.
close, but I can't accept it. The question of the week was actually, have you ever been robbed from a victory, or have you ever been cheated in a game by a bug like I was last week at Golf with Your Friends? Absolute travesty of a bug, by the way. But anyway, we got no responses to it. So, Cardinal, have you ever experienced a bug that totally sucked the joy from the game you were playing?
Okay, I've got two examples. If you will bid me the time.
Wow. 2.
Let me take you back to you're reading the PlayStation magazine. It is the
Ooh.
late 90s. And you hear, ooh, 9 out of 10 review on a random Japanese RPG called Vandal Hearts. I can get it for a few pounds at my local store. You purchase it, you play it, you enjoy it. It's got replayability. Oh, different classes of characters. You're loving it. And you get to the very end. You're fighting Dolph. What a bad
Ooh.
person.
Dolph,
I don't
Dolph
know if they're
Lundgren?
male or female. It doesn't matter. They're called Dolph. You kill them. End credits. Story? Story glitches.
Oh,
Slight
no.
scratch on the disc. The entire
No.
end sequence just skips to the main menu. I have no idea what happens.
No way.
No
That's
idea what the
incredible.
ending is.
You never thought to, like, in this day and age, just YouTube it?
No, I have since, but I
Oh,
had
okay.
to since because I
You,
just never saw what the ending was.
YouTube didn't exist in the late 90s.
I know,
Tomahawk.
I know. I found out years later.
For all these millennials out there who think YouTube has existed since the dawn of time, no. 2006, when that came about, Vandal Hearts was 1999.
I just imagine
7
Cardinal sitting
years.
there for about, sitting there for
What
7
happened?
years going, I wonder. Like, never thought to ask anybody, never thought to,
I replayed it again. See him every time.
Moral of the
that's
story
incredible.
is treat your compact discs with care. Don't let them get scratched, and you'll see how your games end. That's wild, though. You could have got it resurfaced. Game used to resurface it for £3.
Really?
I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
remember that, yes,
I wish you'd
yes.
told me that 20 years ago.
I'm sorry, mate. I didn't know you 20 years ago. If I had have, I would have told you. I would have sent you
No,
an
he would have kept that
SMS.
information to himself. He would have told you. He'd have hoarded it for himself.
I would have sent you an SMS and hope that your phone didn't have 14 priors. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to save it. You wouldn't be able to even read it. But anyway, Tomahawk,
You people are so old.
I'm going to
I know.
veto Cardinal's second one. I'm going to go straight to you. Have you ever had the joy of a game sucked from it by a bug?
Uh, I don't know if it's so much a bug or more just a flaw in like how a game is played. So basically, long story short on this one, Fallout New Vegas.
Okay, yes. Yep.
Please
Here's
continue.
me grinding away at a handful of missions, just out shooting the breeze, exploring, killing some bugs. Every room you go through prompts an autosave.
Mm-hmm.
So there was also a point where there was one house that was in it was like heavily irradiated, so I was taking damage as I was going through and through each room. Comes into a room with a boss arena in essentially, instantly dead.
Oh, nightmare.
So the game
And you have a
boots up the
loop.
infinite death loop. Yeah. Uh, so this is kind of in one of those silly parts where it's me who doesn't think to do alternating save blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So the previous save block I had was from 4 hours prior.
Oh, that's devastating. That is
Yeah,
devastating.
but the
Was
problem,
that just game over?
the reprieve was that was it. Like the autosave kicked in, so as soon as the game loaded, the character did that slow motion drop to the floor. Yeah,
No, it's a
and I had to
nightmare.
watch it for about. I actually sat and watched it for about 20 minutes, going, maybe it'll fix itself.
Maybe
That
this
reminds me of
time.
Lover's Ball, just rolling back down that tube last week, just again and again. It felt like 20 minutes.
So the handy thing about Fallout New Vegas is that you could just boot up what it is like 3-4 hours prior. I just had to boot up a save state from then. I then just went, well, I'm not going back there. I'm going to go and do something the complete opposite side of the map then. So not so much, but more just frustrating for progress
Yeah, that's
more than
annoying.
anything.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
annoying. I would have bent it completely. Not gonna lie to you. Mine is also in Fallout New Vegas.
No way.
I think I've talked about this before as well in this
Oh,
podcast.
no.
Effectively, it is when you get to Prim and you have to free the deputy from the bandits in the old casino.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so I played it on the 360 pretty much day of release. When I got to Prim in that casino, I walked in through the front door and the game crashed. And the game crashed hard. It crashed me right back to I have to restart my 360, rebooted the game, and the data was corrupt, so I couldn't even load it. So I had to go through that whole big tutorial again. Got to the casino, dead. Same thing happened. And then I looked online and I found a Reddit post because it's the days of Reddit. And it says, yeah, if you experience this, just walk in. You need to walk backwards through the entire building. And I did that and it worked. But yeah, it took me about, if I walked in through a door that had a loading screen associated with it, there was like a 50-50 chance the game would just crash and I'd lose everything.
Good old Bethesda or Obsidian.
Mate,
Sorry, yeah.
yeah. More recently, I am playing Fallout New Vegas on my Steam Deck,
Oh yeah.
because it's so old, it can't utilize enough RAM to do alpha effects. So I have installed a 4 gigabit pack, which allows it to access 4 gigs of RAM and randomly. So it's fixed the alpha effects frame rate tank. And just randomly now the game will just drop to from 60 frames a second down to about 1 or 2, just randomly.
Oof.
It's a good thing Bethesda really support their games and don't leave all the bug fixes to their community at all. But yeah,
That's yeah,
that's
yeah. Starfield's
Fallout.
doing really well.
Fallout New Vegas is an amazing game, but it is also very, very, very poorly optimized, both
Yeah.
on release and 12 years later. Fair play,
Never
Bethesda.
really recovered. I say it's not Bethesda. This one, it's Obsidian.
Upset, yeah, published
Well,
by
like,
Bethesda.
Let's call out Bethesda here because they probably deserve it. PS3, Skyrim, the year's 2011. You can't go underwater, otherwise the game crashes. If your
I
head
love
goes
that.
below the surface of the water, it's game over.
But
Right?
like,
What happens in certain missions? Go into caves and you go underwater. You have to progress. Game over.
and who could forget the PS3 exclusive bug in Skyrim, which was the more the game saved, the more it stacked the saves until effectively the
Oh,
game ran out
course.
of resources to run, and it was unrecoverable for about 6 months, 7 months maybe. It was
Oh,
unplayable on PlayStation 3. Well done, Creation Engine. Well done, Bethesda. Thank you very much, Tart Hard. Maybe if we just optimized our consoles better. It's not their
that's
fault.
it. We're the
That's a
problem. Yeah,
topical
that's right.
reference.
It
That's a
was.
I got it.
I have never been more mad when I heard that. But anyway, poll of the week. Poll of the week was a simple one. And I was shocked because I checked this not 15 minutes ago and the right answer was selected. And here we are now. Third week in a row, fourth week in a row, the community have picked the wrong answer on the poll of the week. One day they'll get this right. Poll of the week, for those who have short memories, was: has Lava been robbed of points this week? The correct answer is, of course, yes. Yes, he was.
Oh,
That got 1 vote. No, got 2 votes. Once again, the community has really let us down. Absolutely shocking. I'm not even going to comment on it. Not
That's
even
it.
going to comment on it.
and just for listeners' purpose, I didn't vote on that poll.
I was going to say it was definitely you and Tomahawk.
I definitely voted on that poll.
I also did not vote in that poll, although I think I'm going to have to start so that there's a better chance of them getting the right answer here. But yes, there will be a question of the week this week. There will be a poll of the week this week as well. If you want to take part in them, make sure you hang around till the end of the episode because that's when you will get the question and poll of the week. So make sure you do
Okay.
that. And with all of that done in record time, gentlemen, I must ask you, Cardinal_Smith_, tell me, what are you playing?
Well, this week I've been playing whole heap of things. Enshrouded is now you may not have heard. It's called an online crafting survival game. I don't know if you've ever heard of that kind of genre.
This must
There's a
be
couple
new.
of them around. They're usually in alpha mode for years. So this one's been released in alpha or beta or something. And I've been playing that with work once. It seems okay, but I said that about mine to Moria, and I learned after 1 week there was no content beyond
What's this
that
game
one.
called? Sorry.
Enshrouded.
Enshrouded. That sounds
Yes.
mysterious.
Mysterious. There's some shrouding things, and you have to heal the world. I don't know. Build a base. You get the idea. And apart from that, I just got sucked back into Civ 6 again today.
Oh, not again.
That's it. You're putting the
I
man
need
hours
to
into
work.
that big time. Yeah.
I have a job to do.
Do you though?
I don't know. From what you get off, from what the way you talk off chat implies that you don't have a real job and it's just play Civ 6
Yep.
and tell us that you don't really play Civ 6.
I mean, working from home development is a real job, guys. In a real home office.
But the only thing you're developing is your civilization.
Yeah. And now use that science you've just learned to ask Tom.
Like, okay, so Tomahawk, tell me, what are you playing? It's getting worse week on week. That
The reserves are drying up. Actually, I never thought I'd be saying that, and given my playthrough statistics, Resident Evil 5. That's what I've been playing.
Ooh.
I couldn't get rid of Resident Evil 4 quick enough off the hard drive, so I figured let's just
Wow.
go through the odyssey that is 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're kind of just the first couple of chapters of part 5. I love that game.
So do I.
And there's just something about Chris Redfield in this one, because the way that my canon playthrough has gone since the start. It's the first time I've actually assumed control of Chris Redfield. So
Okay.
I've done it before in previous run throughs, but like fresh Tomahawks really shouldn't have a clue who Chris Redfield is or what bearing he has on any story at the minute. So this is all quite fresh and lovely.
He's. I love the way he's like the most important character in Resident Evil. And you're like, I don't even care.
But this is it. Like if you play as if you go all the way back to 1 and play as Jill, Chris has no bearing on that story, and
Yeah.
then doesn't show up again until 5.
Well, that's not true.
Shut up. That's true.
It's most certainly not. He shows up in Code Veronica.
But we're not talking about Code Veronica. I'm talking
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
strictly 1
Hold-
through 8.
Hold on. You said in my canon playthrough.
Alright, fine.
Code
Fine.
Veronica is canon. That's all I'm saying. But continue your story about Chris Redfield and how you don't know who he is.
Well, I do know who he is. It's just that my like fresh playthrough of this is just went. Never played him before. Why is this man showing up? And why is he just punching things? He just
All-
loves punching things in this game.
All
Mm.
joking aside, Resident Evil 5, apart from the boulder punching incident, peak Chris Redfield. Peak Chris Redfield. Absolutely phenomenal, that
I
man.
can't wait.
Surely boulder punching enhances a character. And
It's
a character's story.
such a meme in his own right, and it's so referential even by the time you get to like Resident Evil 8. I can't wait till I get big fridge sized Chris Redfield with a turtleneck. That's all I'm doing this for now.
I actually hate that little reference in Resident Evil 8 because how did Heisenberg know that? How Tom? How does Heisenberg know
Well,
that?
let me complete Resident Evil 8 and I'll get back to you on that one.
He can't. There's no way he knows it. There's no way unless his power is also magical.
Who knows? Maybe he was in Africa at the time.
Possibly. Who knows?
On a gap year or something.
It's just like, what we got, y'all?
Other than Resi 5, I've been spamming Twitch with Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
I want to love this game.
Uh-oh.
There's something just not gripping me.
Sounds like a skill issue.
And I think, I actually quite like the idea of just getting smashed by like 30 bad guys
What?
in one, like,
Excuse me?
like you try and do a stealth mission, you get caught out, and then about 30 of them just all spam the arena, and then just, lack of a better word, they just kick the shit out of you. Like, you can mute that.
There's one for the edit. Get that Sonic ring sound out, boys. We're gonna need it. Ding.
Just, I'm the only one who hasn't done it in 3 seasons. Let me have this one. It's okay. The game's pretty good. The story is getting engaging, more and more engaging. But there's just something that's not hooking me in as much as I thought it would.
Okay, fair enough.
That's okay.
Strange.
I'll let your opinion slide for now, and we'll revisit it when you finish it. We'll see if you're still incorrect by the end.
We'll love
Meanwhile-
it. What are you playing?
Love
I
it.
have been delving into the backlog, and I have recently installed and started playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Never heard of it. What's it like?
So it's
What do you
this
think?
indie RPG from, I think it was the PlayStation 1, they recently remade it to see if it could find a new audience, maybe get, a couple players this time rather than just the 2 or 3 that played it back in the PS1. It's actually really, really, really good. I'm not very far into it. I've literally just witnessed a Mako reactor blow up. Absolutely nothing to do with it. I was on the train coming into the city and it blew up. And now the people seem to think I
Purely
have something
passing
to do with
by,
it.
yeah.
Mm.
Innocent
Um,
bystander.
It's
it
always the way, isn't it?
is. It is really, really good, though, isn't it?
I love it. Like that opening sequence, I've played a good few times. I think it's one of those ones I've resigned myself as a watch it. I probably don't get any enjoyment from playing it myself. Like, but game looks great. I can't fault that.
That's the thing that jumped out at me. I'm obviously playing the PlayStation 5 version. It looks absolutely incredible. It is an incredible looking game. And more importantly, it sounds amazing as well. The music is mind blowingly good. It is really, really good. I'm actually really enjoying it. Although need to start chapter 2. It's very, 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 very early days. I think it took me like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that to beat the first chapter, but really awesome. Really, really enjoying it. But yeah,
Happy days.
that's
Nice.
all I've been playing. That is it. It's been a busy old week for me, so that is it. Just Final Fantasy VII Remake. And with all that being said, and me talking about games that I haven't been playing, what about we go straight to the game that we were all playing? This week's challenge game. And
Together.
this week's challenge game was a multiplayer one. And
Whee!
we had no issues with it disappearing off PlayStation Plus because it's a free to play. And also, we didn't have any issues getting onto the same lobby and getting into the same games. It was a walk in the park until the game started. This week, I'm talking about is Fall Guys. Basically, what we're doing this week is we are playing through a full show. Whoever wins, whoever gets furthest of us four will get 3 points. Whoever comes second will get second, 2 points. Whoever comes the third farthest will get 1 point each. We're also throwing out bonus points as well. Tom, am I right in saying that? The person
Yeah.
to finish first of us on
In
any of the
each
stages
category, yeah.
will get
Whoa.
1 point, and if any one of us eliminates the other one of us by using a grab, they will also get 1 bonus point. So this week could be quite high scoring. So if you want to see how that goes, you don't have to wait much longer because we're going to go there now. Let's go. Okay, Fall Guys then. Developed by Mediatonic, published by Epic Games, and apparently released in August 2020, not too long before the first lockdown in the UK, to be fair. So, Fall Guys.
August 2020?
Oh, after?
You sure?
It would be
Got it
after.
right,
No.
right into the midst of it,
You're
yeah.
after even
March.
the second?
No, we're not.
Well, the first lockdown was March 16th.
March 2020 was first lockdown, and then it ran right through till like June ish.
And then the
So we're
second one
kind of
didn't
And then
start
it was
until.
pretty much straight into the second one.
We're in the midst of a pandemic.
Wow. We were in the midst of a pandemic.
2020, famous for nothing. Nothing happened 2020.
And the tonic for that
What?
was Fall Guys, and I'm pretty sure everyone, especially near its release, everyone was playing Fall Guys. It was enormous. Cardinal,
We had nothing else to do.
tell me you were playing Fall Guys.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sitting at home. There's nothing else to do, and a free game drops called Fall Guys that you can play, and everyone else in the world's playing it. Yes, let's hop in.
I mean, yes, totally. I mean, I definitely was playing The Witcher 3, but yeah, Fall Guys, exactly. That's what I was playing during lockdown. Yeah.
I did play quite a bit of Fall Guys when it released. I remember it having very little content. I remember there was maybe like 5 or 6 different games, and it did sort of follow the same sort of pattern. The race up to the top of the mountain was always, or when I played it, seemingly always the final sort of show. That was the finale. It was. I always liked it. It was frustrating funny, and it's just really, it was really, really funny.
Yeah, I mean, my main sort of experience is like we did our grudge chip cash in episode and like our back side quests, and me and Sherry and Cardinal did a round of it. Actually, it's one of those games that no amount of practice can prepare you for it.
No,
No.
no,
And
it's
I think
just
that's kind of the beauty of it, especially like when we beta these challenges and start talking about them and stuff as well. It's like nobody, you could be good at it, but you can't be proficient at it sort of in broad strokes when it comes to the actual game itself. Like that's too much of an unknown factor, really. But that's,
yeah.
I think, the joy of it, really.
Yeah, you can learn a couple of games and you can have your tactics and stuff, but there's 39 other players in a lobby, and it quickly descends into absolute chaos. You can have all the tactics and ideas in the world, but all it takes is one of those little jelly beans to step in front of you at the wrong time, and it will send you clean flying, and
Yeah.
you're beat. There's no practice in this game at all. It's really good fun. That hasn't changed. The game since its release has grown immensely. There's so much content, so much variation in the games. There's so much going on. You don't know what's going to come next. Sometimes the game doesn't know what's going to come next, and it'll make you wait a while. But it is still absolutely top fun. It is really, really good game. I really, I really enjoyed it. In saying that, there was a point in that winter lockdown where I was just playing through my backlog an awful lot, and I stopped playing it. So I don't think I had touched this game since 2021 until we recorded this gameplay that we're going to watch any minute now.
Same. Same. Can I
There
just say,
is-
I think I could do an entire pod episode just on games played during lockdown.
Yes,
That
yes.
would be, yeah,
Backlogs filled, or all that.
incredible scenes.
It was a heck of a time to be alive. So it was. Sherry's not here, but I think we need to talk about Sherry here. We need to talk about Sherry. Sherry
Hmm.
has an issue, so he does, and his issue is a very serious one. I think it's a terminal case of buying the cosmetics because yet again, Sherry rocks up with all the cosmetics you could ever imagine in this game.
You have
every
to love it, though.
every time we play a free to play game, Sherry rocks up. He's like, I don't know what this game is. I hate this game, but I bought this premium skin for it. It's a
He
real.
stands out if nothing else.
That's it. That's it. It's
It's
a real
consistent.
issue. He needs to seek help to help cure him of this
Are you tired of
disease.
microtransactions in games? Well, it's entirely Sherry's fault
You
because
could be
he's the
Mr. John
one
Sherry.
Sherry, I think was the games industry calls wheels, isn't it? The
Oh,
like
yeah.
95% of players will spend no money on a free to play. 5% is what they call wheels. They will buy a lot of stuff. Sherry is 100% a wheel. He is Moby Dick.
I think Sherry's floated epic over the last 2 years, at least, anyway, in Fortnite and Fall Guys skins.
And between Fall Guys and the skins he's bought in Fortnite, he
and
is the
golf with your
reason.
friends.
He is the reason Epic have a store, and he partially funded the trolley update. So he did.
I think we have to thank him for, Rocket Battle Royale and the Guitar Hero one that they've launched as well. Without Sherry's
Festival.
without Sherry's funding, Fortnite would just still be Fortnite. So
Amazing.
Well
Thank
done,
you,
Sherry.
Sherry. Thank you, mate. Never change, but seriously, seek help. You need it. So I think with all that said, I think the only thing to do is watch how we get on in Fall Guys. Let's go there, Cardinal. So here we are then. This week's challenge game, Fall Guys. And just to reiterate, we're just going to go through a show. Whoever goes the furthest of us four gets 3 points. Whoever goes second furthest gets 2 points. Whoever goes third furthest gets 1 point. Whoever finishes last of us gets 0 points. There's also a bonus point for coming first out of us four in any of the shows. And there is bonus points available if you eliminate any other of the High Scores, High Stakes hosts by using a shove. So without any further ado, Cardinal, I think all we need to do is hit that play button, mate. Let's see how
Play.
we get on.
Yeah.
So here we are then. So our first one was called Short Circuit, and the aim of this show then was to complete 2 laps of the assault course. And I think it's the first 28 players to cross the finish line are the qualifiers. Anyone after that is out. So the name of the game here is run 2 laps, finish in the top 28. Easy peasy, because this game requires no skill, because as Cardinal said, it is all completely random. Isn't that right, Cardinal?
Mostly, you just see me flapping about here trying to get on top of the block with 6, 10 other players on top of each other.
Just
Chaos.
watching this back gives me anxiety. I think I said in chat during this was like it's like watching World War Z where they all just pile on top of each
Yeah.
other and have no like it's like a hive mind mentality. They all just go to one area and go, that must be the right place. This must be where I need to go.
Yes, that's it. I hadn't a ball where I was going, so I was just following all of our folks. Just for context here, Cardinal is top left. He is the Christmas tree. I am top right. I am the Viking. Tomahawk is bottom left, and he is a cactus, I'm presuming. And
uh, a pot. I have a chef's hat and Clank's trousers.
yes, and and you're getting flung in the air. And Sherry is dressed as your doll Madrigal
Mirabelle
from
from
Encanto, and that's it. Everyone has completed their first lap. No one has yet qualified yet, so that's good news for us.
I have
I
completed
am.
my first one.
I haven't completed my first lap actually. Just looking at me, I'm still
Yeah.
I'm miles behind. Oh dear, this is not looking good. But that's a lap complete, so no one's yet qualified either. So I'm still in with a chance here, even though I am miles behind and I'm stuck on scenery and all sorts. For those who hasn't played Fall Guys before, it is a Takeshi's Castles type TV show game. It's all physics based, and your characters are jelly beans. I think they call the
Yeah, they're like just
beans, isn't it?
customized jelly beans. Really, just seems to be the best way to describe them now.
And they are 100% physics based. So when you turn, it's all weight and direction and all sorts of other stuff. So it is quite, it feels quite sluggish in parts, and it can be quite difficult to control your character where you want them to go. But right now, I am flying. I finally found my Fall Guys feet,
And
and
there's
there's
22 out of 28
23 now,
qualified. Only 4
24,
spaces left.
but that's me. I'm in number 25 of 28. If
That
you
is
can't,
skinnier teeth. Yeah.
I said it the other week, it doesn't matter if you get in by an inch or a mile. Getting in is getting in. And that is the end of the first
Just pause it
game, the
there,
first
Cardinal.
show. So it is
We
28.
all made it.
28 have qualified, and all 4 of us are still in the game. So there's all to play for. Right now, we don't have a 4th place finisher, which is good. Which is good. And speaking of things being good, we're going to pause Fall Guys there, and we're going to go to the best gosh darn game show on the internet right now. It is Cardinal Smith presents Name That Game. We'll go there now.
Welcome to Name That Game with your host, Cardinal Smith. Finally, a better job in this podcast. I gotta step up. Right, go get your nerves together. Focus, focus. Now deliver. Hi, Lova, Tomahawk. The score, let's recap, is at 4 points to Lova, 3 points to Tom. It is tight as a tight thing. Now, your first Name That Game Amazon review. As you know, I find a review online. I hope it hasn't been read before in a previous series, and I hope you also get it.
Beautiful.
So we'll start with the most obscure one
Ooh.
that I have for you this week, and it goes off a little bit like this. I love this sport, but this game is doing its best to stop me. Riddled with bugs, average graphics, commentary that just repeats the same phrases, scorecards that just don't add up, constant crashing, and more. Menu system for managing controls and difficulty makes zero sense and is painfully slow. Needs patching urgently. Now, if it did not have all the above issues, so much potential to be a great game, All the players, formats, and teams are there, and you can make your own. Games move along nicely, and difficulty can be adjusted to suit your skill. But until it's patched, I'd avoid it. It's just frustrating.
Hmm.
Gents, for your first round, name that game.
Oh my
So
goodness.
my initial thought was going to be, is it like eFootball 24? But that's free to play, so why would there be an Amazon review for it? So I'm going to go with my second guess, and is it the PS4 version of EAFC 24?
It's a good guess, and it is a good guess, but it is the wrong guess.
Ooh.
I was going to say that. But I'm going to go with my second written down thing here. And is it Madden 24?
Oh, it is not. I'm afraid it is not. Madden. Madden, what was that? 24?
24.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So, folks, this you're on the right ballpark here. You are talking about a sports game,
We are.
and it is one that's released year on year. Okay.
Okay.
It, however, is are not in the right sports.
Okay.
Oh, is that the clue?
I'm afraid so.
Okay, is it Tiger Woods 2K23?
It's a good guess, but it's not right.
Because it mentioned teams in the review. Is it NHL 24?
Okay, it is not.
I know
So
what it is.
I will tell you that this was developed by someone called Big Ant Studios, and it is the 8th game in their ongoing series of this sport,
Big Ant Studios.
published by Nacon, Nacon.
Oh, is it NASCAR?
Oh, it's not.
Ah,
Is it European truck racing?
No, but I was going to say more of this side of the Atlantic.
This side of the Atlantic. Okay, so it's okay. So that's clue 3 then.
so it's European. It's the 8th game.
It's international, but you wouldn't see Americans picking this up.
Is it? I mean, it's the only other thing I could think of. I don't even know if it exists. Is it cricket? Is it a cricket game?
It,
I don't know any cricket games.
No, I don't actually know. I've never heard of the publisher or.
I've heard of the publisher, but
well,
like
listen,
literally
folks.
just the name.
I'm sorry. Let's pause you there because the answer is Cricket 24 from Big Ant Games, and it's their 8th. It's their 8th one. The score is 5-3.
I don't know. I'm going to put an asterisk on that. You can't just shout cricket.
Well, the game's called cricket.
It literally is.
Fair.
I'm taking that point, boys.
That was the loosest one of the week. So
That was definitely pure another luck. And speaking of luck, I got lucky in round 1 of Fall Guys. Will I get lucky in round 2 of Fall Guys? There's only one way to find out, and that is by going straight back to Fall Guys. Let's go. Okay, so name my game off to an auspicious start. What fantastic piece of deduction by me. Yet another point on the board. Tomahawk is in the mud, but he wasn't in the slime in round 1. Just to recap what happened in round 1, short circuit, 2 laps. I came in 25th out of 28. 28 have qualified. Let's see how the next game goes. Hit that play button, please, Cardinal. Let's go. Let's waste no more time. Time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence. I missed the play button.
I
but now
remember
we're away.
correctly, this is the one that took about half of our game time to actually come up with
The
a
game,
game to play. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, now you get to relive it.
it took forever because we were like, is this game just gonna
I
kick
thought it was
us
going
all?
to boot us out. Yeah. I thought we were going to get kicked at one point for this and just time out the session. But no, it must have just ran out of the algorithm, must have failed to kick in or something.
Yep.
And
So
here we
the
are, Wall Guys.
Wall Guys, and Wall Guys is basically
Oh,
a terraced climb up a hill to the finish line where everyone has to work together by putting steps up so that everyone can get over the wall. So it should be a team game. It ain't a team game. And I think what we're going to see here is pure another carnage.
absolutely. Just pick a screen and stick with it because it's going to be emphatically tough to watch.
Yes, yes. I have just made it over the first wall, and I'm actually working with other players to try to get over the second wall, but it's everyone's just pushing everyone out of the way because obviously it's physics based, and I've noticed that everyone else has a step at the wall, so I'm now going there, and I'm over the second. I think we're all over the second. Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Yeah, no,
Or
yeah,
now.
I was well behind, but
But this one was tricky because the boxes were just too high to jump and grab the edge and pull yourself up. So you had to get like step system going on. And right now, everyone is just trying to jump on each other's heads because that is a thing you can do in Fall Guys. You can jump on another player's head to get you a bit more height. That's what's going on here. I am over the second wall, and I'm now trying to get over the third, and
There's
it's
me, Sherry, and Cardinal all trying to scramble in because, like, I did have a grab on the ledge there, but then I must have just been jostled off by
oh, there I am.
everybody else then, and I did struggle to kind of get past this. But that's me over now onto the third wall. I've done a
I
bit of a
almost made, I
dive and
almost made it
just
off
missed
there, and
it.
I got bumped
yeah.
off by somebody.
I am a wall behind you guys, and it's pure another carnage back here. You don't want to see this. There is a whole heap of everything going on. I cannot get near the edge of my box to make the jump, and it's just
And
right
I'm
now.
right behind you.
I remember this, and I was like, "Oh no, oh no, I'm going out here because I cannot do this."
And I've
But
just been knocked off my perch as well. So it's 4 have qualified so far.
yep, yep. So
Because I think this last wall is then just a climb and
Here
a
we
fan.
go.
mm-hmm.
That's 10 qualified,
There I am through.
12 qualified, 15
Love us through.
qualified,
Oh,
and
hit the pause button there, Cardinal. So what has happened is I make up the deficit. I thought I was going out 100%. I was like, I am out. There's no way I can save this. I do save
Yeah.
it. I think I qualified in number 11, 10 or 11, I think I was. Cardinal finished first out of all of us there. So Cardinal gets a point.
was the bonus points not if he finishes first in the
In
entire
the
lobby?
entire game. Okay, so
Yeah,
there is no bonus
sorry.
point there, Cardinal.
Just
Sorry, mate.
robbing you of a
Well.
bonus point.
Thanks.
Yeah. So out of 26 players, 16 remain. Not
Jeez, they
included.
giveth and they taketh away.
Not included in those 16 is Mr. John Sherry or Tomahawk because they have been eliminated. Now, the question here is what do we do? We were banking on us getting eliminated in an elimination style game, which will give you the order in which you were eliminated in order to divvy out points, but you've been eliminated at the same time. So, Cardinal, as champion the champion, do we give them each 0 points, or do we show some mercy and give them 1 point apiece?
I think because they've come this far, they've got through the first level.
Yes, they have.
I think they get a -1 point.
A minus
Oh,
three.
minus 1 point.
No,
Fine.
sorry, no, I was going with the 1.
We'll go with 1. We'll go with 1. So right now, as it stands, Sherry and Tomahawk are on
Because it's
1
joint third.
1 point each. So they are.
Well,
So
that's good
joint
we've
third.
agreed on that because I've already done the updated league table, so I'm not changing it. So
The drama that would have been. But yes, and speaking of drama, Let's get back to the drama of Name That Game.
Guys, it's the second round of Name That Game. The scores are 5-3. This is a chance at a point here. Less obscure. I've never played it and I never will. But
Nope.
here is the game that you've got the name. After taking my time and waiting for the price to drop, I went ahead and purchased the game. The first
Ooh.
68 hours are brilliant. Really enjoyed playing as Batgirl and Robin. Game seemed fine and the story is really good. However, repetitive gameplay kicks in and I felt burnt out. I wanted to keep playing for the story, however, I couldn't continue as it's all the same. Story content and boss fights are great, but it's the stuff leading to that. I could go on, but I'm going to pause there and ask
Okay.
you.
It's Arkham
Arkham
Knights.
Knights.
Great effort, but wrong. So,
It's
So
not
let's-
Arkham Knights.
It's not
So
Arkham
let's-
Knights.
it's not Arkham Knights. So let's move on to the rest of the review. Gameplay is good, but not on previous Arkham levels. No counter button. You can level characters, etc., but special abilities must be unlocked doing certain activities, and this is done for each character. So, for example, if you want to unlock the glide ability for a character, you can, but for another, you have to repeat the same special activities. Ultimately, I feel too much bloat. The gaming feeling was like a live service game with changed into a story game. This has let it down. As I said, the story is great, but they could have and should have done more. I sold my copy on. For DC fans, I'm sure they will enjoy the game. It's not a bad game. 3 stars.
Is it Kill the Justice League?
It's not.
Yeah,
Live service DC game.
as soon as I heard that, I was like, it's Kill the
Yeah.
Justice League, but then
No,
like,
to be specific, he said, or sorry, the
Robin said-
reviewer says, the gaming feeling like it was a live service game, which changed into a story game. I think they're referring to the development.
Okay. Oh, okay. I have no idea. I'm gonna go with. I don't know. Lego DC superheroes. I have no idea.
I mean, you know you're in the right ballpark, but it's not right. So, guys, this was a Warner Brothers game, as you probably know. It was an open world action RPG set in a dynamic and interactive Gotham City.
I mean, it is Arkham Knights, but because he's already, I feel like it's. Is it Return to Arkham? I don't know if
That's a
that's
collection.
Yeah.
It's not.
Is it Arkham Origins?
Oh my goodness, guys. Just stop saying the word Arkham.
You said it.
I mean, you're
It's not
describing Arkham Knights.
I'm taking the point. It's Arkham Knights. I don't care what the game actually is.
It's The Last of Us. No. Look, what more can I say? It's RPG featuring the Batman family as players step into the roles of Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin, a new guard of trained DC superheroes.
Yes.
That's
This
Arkham
is
Knights.
the game. This is Arkham Knights.
That's Arkham Knights, Cardinal.
Spelt with a K.
Okay, the answer is Gotham Knights.
It is.
It is. It is.
And
Oh,
with that
dear.
absolute bombshell, the score remains at 5-3.
Oh my goodness gracious me, that is petty.
Oh, I hate this game. I genuinely hate this game.
And let's get back to Fall Guys.
Yeah. So, after that absolutely devastating name that game round, which I mean, I'm in shock and awe that we were adamant it was Arkham Knights, but it isn't. I made a mistake in name that game. I haven't made a mistake yet in Fall Guys. Tomahawk, you have. You were too slow in the last round. You are out. You and Sherry are now on the bench. And to be honest, you might have to go on the bench and name that game as well. It's an absolutely terrible showing. So, but we
It's like pretty
are
bad showing for me.
we are 2 rounds into Fall Guys. There's 2 more rounds to do. So without any further delay, Cardinal, let's get the round 3. Hit that play button, mate, and we'll see how this one goes. So it's just me and
Let's
you.
Go. Yeah.
So there's just me and you. Tomahawk is he's in the history books, and the next game is Hoverboard Heroes. For those who don't know, Hoverboard Heroes is an assault course, but we're on a raft that will move at a defined rate, and we just have to avoid obstacles, get around things, get over things, and get back on the hoverboard before it leaves us in the goo. It's not goo,
And I think
slime.
It's the
slime.
slime, yeah.
whichever you prefer. And I think
Yeah,
this is the first
this-
time Lova and myself played this level. So,
Yep, I've never heard of this level before. I had no idea what to expect, but I did think Cardinal is just grabbing me, trying to throw me off the edge, trying to get that bonus point, the wee rascal. But yeah, this
just
one,
for cheeky point.
this one was a bit strange. As I said, I've never seen this one, never played this one before. It just throws an awful lot at you, and everyone's in a confined space, so sometimes just moving around was difficult. Trying to grab Cardinal without grabbing someone else was also quite difficult because I didn't want to grab a
It
stranger
was.
because then they're going to grab you and try to get you off. But here we go.
Right.
What?
The hoverboard has went under the level, and now we have to leave it, get through an obstacle course. I got
Oh,
so
you
so
lucky
nearly
there.
fell off.
Yeah, I was right on the edge, and the physics just stopped me on the edge. The way it should have
No,
been, to be fair.
this one was a laugh because obviously I'm sitting there kind of just providing color commentary at the minute and then essentially just shouting at the TV going like, oh God, don't do that. Please stop. It was so tense. Like, not, I can imagine this is like 10 times worse when you're actually playing the level.
Whoa.
But to watch you two just essentially watch Cardinal try and drag you off the level was
Yes. yes.
stressful enough at the best of times.
He's just tried
this-
it there. But this here bit
Yeah.
was difficult. I don't know how I survived this bit
I was
because
just got
I'm getting
pummeled.
absolutely pummeled by that big swinging arm. But
It's all over.
then I had
for
an
me.
idea. Whoop. Cardinal has just been eliminated, where I have just qualified, and did I qualify first in that one?
No, I'm gonna call that VAR. No, you didn't. Let's move on.
I think we need to go VAR in that one.
Let's go to the VAR here.
I don't think it was, but it might have been. It might have been.
I think we can see there's two
No,
people
there's 2 getting.
qualified.
But do they make it? Do they? That's the real question.
If it's
Yeah,
two
they
definitely
have.
over the line at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So I qualified third. Close. So that means Cardinal just didn't make it. He must have fell into the slime and got himself eliminated 1 stop before the final. I'm there.
That's really interesting. That I genuinely thought that was a timed level, like just a survival one on a time limit. I didn't realize it was actually an active finish line you had to go to.
Yeah, it's an auto scroller. So
Me neither.
yeah, it's an auto scroller. Yeah.
Okay.
You're never timing that. But yes, that means Cardinal, because you were in second place. You get yourself a nice wee handy 2 points for the league table. Well done, mate. Well done. One better than Tomahawk. That gap is closing. She's closing slowly but surely. I could take the whole thing here.
Well, this is it. We know we're going. We know Love is getting the 3 points here, but we did say.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've touched on this now. We did say that if you win the whole lobby, there's a few bonus points, 3 bonus points, in fact, ready for
Mhm.
this. So, is Lover coming away with 3 points or 6 points? Is the big question now.
That is the big question. and we'll find out if I can get the 6 points after we go back to name that game.
Well, guys, here we are, the final round. Now, this review, let's see if you can, if you're able to name the game, because that is actually the name of
It
this game.
is.
You have to name the game, not another game that you keep naming. That's the wrong game. You have to name the right game. So stick with me,
Hybrid.
guys. Have faith. Okay, it's. I want this one to be Arkham Knights, but it's not. Okay, here we go. Here's the review of Amazon. 4 stars. Make no mistake, this game is janky. I've been playing this game series since the Mega Drive, and I'm old enough to remember the old titles that I'm not going to name that he mentions in this review. Now, I thought this person's idea of game design was to throw as much into the game and see what sticks, and this certainly seems to be the case with their departure from Sega. And, well, the thing is, he's gone, and what we have here feels like their prime era game design. There's so many random activities, skills to unlock, etc., including one that pretty much breaks the combat early on. The whole thing feels disjointed. It seems like it's a cultural thing with them. The open world, for instance, doesn't look like it's part of this game. In fact, the cynic in me would suspect that it was an asset from another cancelled project, maybe a Phantasy Star Online title. The enemies in the open world sectors all appear to be these weird geometric shapes, almost like they were placeholders. The thing is, the moment to moment gameplay is really fun. The mini boss in the open world have excellent sense of scale, and the soundtrack makes the fights feel epic, for want of a better phrase. Yes, the mechanics are generally a bit ropey, but it doesn't detract from the fun. On technical merit, this would be a 2-star game, but based on how much I'm enjoying it, I'm giving it 4. Listening to reviews before purchasing, I kept hearing things like it's this for better titles in the future or set up for this, and I have to agree. I hope the next century is a bit more cohesive. Andy,
Hmm. What
what's
game
Andy
is
talking
Andy?
about?
I have no idea.
I like how he signed it off as if like he was go love Andy.
Hmm.
Your Amazon game reviewer.
This shouts like it should very well be a Lova game because as soon as he said Mega Drive, departure from Sega,
Yeah, I
you would.
mean,
I don't know
you
because
would.
as soon as I shouted at myself there, as soon as it said enemies were like geometric shapes, and I remember vaguely a Rayman game having a similar vibe to that, but then that doesn't tie into the Mega Drive or
No,
Sega in any way.
no, that's what I was thinking as well. I had a few ideas, and then it started talking about open worlds and the geometrically shaped enemies, and it looking a bit like Phantasy Star Online. And then I can't think of any games in the Mega Drive.
I think you just have to pick apart Andy's mind.
I think
Right.
we do, and it kept on talking about someone who has left Sega, and this is Prime era. I honestly have no idea. Oh, Sonic Frontiers.
That, Lova, is the right answer. You have
Incredible.
named that game.
Yes.
I feel a bit, and I almost feel that's harsh on Tomahawk. Because
No, I was never getting that.
yeah,
Ah,
me neither.
that
I
makes
feel
up for
like
the
Sonic
cricket.
is a love a household game.
It is, yeah. It is,
Had
yeah.
to be. That's
And
the
to be
same. As soon as
fair,
it was Sega, that screamed love. I thought it's gotta have to be.
one of the biggest enemies, one of the first enemies in the game, does look exactly like a Phantasy Star Online enemy. 100%. It's like a big, like metal golem, and that's a really good review. Well done, Andy. Andy, I'm glad you put your name at the end of that. Well done. Good review. Yep.
And with Andy's review out of the way and the final round done, The scores are Lava 6, Tomahawk.
Oof,
It's not been a great week 3.
Oh
no,
dear.
I can pull it back. I can pull it back. There's still 3 games to go next week.
There are. There are. But chances are I'm going to be naming more than them you are. And speaking of getting more than you are, I am getting more points than you are in Fall Guys. But the question is it going to be 3 points? Or is it going to be 6 points? I don't know.
Ooh.
Because it was Mrs. Lover playing as me in the game. I have tricked you all. No, actually, I do know. But I'm trying to build the anticipation for the podcast viewers. who
Jeopardy.
don't know.
That's it.
So
Yeah, exactly.
let's get back
It's
to
a
Fall
good story,
Guys
Dylan.
and see if I get 3 points or 6 points. Let's go. This is it then, the grand finale. The strongest gamer on the podcast is standing alone against the world. Well, 5 other randomers in a Fall Guys lobby anyway. Let's see how many points I'm going to be extending my lead at the top of the league. Cardinal, for the last time this episode, hit that play button, mate.
Boys, he doesn't have to rub it in, does he? There
Someone's
we
got
go.
to do it.
6
We've already
qualified.
said he's a sore winner. We've long established this in the podcast.
He's a sore winner.
Yous boys are just jealous because you can't remember what it's like to win. It's been so long.
I drink from the
I just
season 1
bag
cup to
points.
remind me.
I just bag points each week. It's not about the winning. It's about constant. It's just getting points on the board is all that matters.
That's it. And right now, all that matters is this final round in Fall Guys. This is, what's this one called?
I think it just is a last
Jump
man. It just
Showdown, I
is-
think it was called. Which is basically there are 2 foam rollers, one high, one low. They move the same direction but move at different rates. And all I have to do is not get absolutely annihilated by the roller. There are still 5 of us or 6 of us left.
Yeah.
And there are bits of the level falling apart. And I thought they were going to fall apart in a uniform way, but no, it is completely random. And now there are 3 other players stuck on one cube with nowhere to go. Me and this other
And we've
guy have
lost
got
one and
we've got
another.
we've got the
There's 2
tactics down.
eliminated. Yep. I did like
Down to
in that
4.
map that we had a character skin of Omni Man. That did make me smile throughout that.
I didn't even notice Omni-Man, you know. And oh no,
Oh no.
it was the last 2. We were down to the last 2, and I messed up a jump and got absolutely Fall Guy clean off the edge. And the winner then was me. I mean, but Grand Puffin 4064.
What a legend of the game.
What
Well
a
done.
legend of the game.
Salute you.
I salute you, sir. I would like to say it was his skill and tenacity that won it, but it was my mistake. I jumped too early and got caught by the big roller and then pushed off the edge by the little roller. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, I'm here to beat G's guys. I'm not here to beat Grand Puffin 4064 at all. I don't even know who he is. So
Well,
let's...
I'm glad Grand Puffin 4064 was there to stop you getting another 3 points.
Well, yeah, this is
That's
it.
it.
This is it. It is bittersweet. Bitter for me, sweet for you, because the league at the top of the table is only going to grow a little bit, a little bit. So at the end of Fall Guys, then, Tomahawk, Sherry get 1 point each for finishing joint third. Cardinal gets 2 points. I get 3 points. But let's wrap up the game. We'll talk about the game a little bit now. That is it for Fall Guys. We have our results. We have our points. We have our league table to update, but we'll do that after I ask you the question. Cardinal Smith,
Ooh.
Tomahawk, what were your thoughts on Fall Guys? And more importantly, would you play it again?
I'd play games. There was an occasion to play with other people like
Mhm.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Never ever again by myself. But it's an occasion game. It's fun with friends.
It
right?
is. Yeah.
That's it. No, I could dip in and out. Like I'll play maybe like 1-2 games in just a random lobby. Like, but as you say, it's very much a if the 4 of us are available and you go like you don't want to play something big titled or anything that's going to be quite resource heavy. Fall Guys, what that 10-15 minutes tops really.
Hmm.
it's a nice time killer, and it's a bit of crack. It was a good laugh actually. I think we played a good 3 or 4 games either side of our actual
Yeah,
challenge submission as well.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, there
We went
was
back, didn't we?
there was some yeah, there was some attempts. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It's really good fun. It is very, very funny. It is infuriating. It is frustrating. And the game doesn't, I don't think the game does a very good job at telling you what you're meant to be doing in a lot of the more complicated
I think
games.
that's the beauty of it, though.
I
It
think
like
so.
creates this anarchy and chaos that everyone kind of just like has this like lemming approach where they all just funnel in and do
Hmm.
what the leader's doing essentially, and then assume that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, and it's probably not because everyone's in the same boat. No one knows what the heck is going on. And what I like most about it is it's got a big pool of games, and it does pull them completely at random as well, or seemingly because we played about 4 or 5 games of that when we recorded that. And to be honest, I don't think we saw the same game come up.
No repetition,
No.
no. I think
None.
the well that they have to draw from these days now is quite good, and there was a lot of like I played a bit of this sort of in prep just to we said earlier you can't really prep for a game like this, but
Hmm.
we try all the same. The game repetition is next to none. Everything
Hmm.
seems fresh and original each time out. Like, and fair play to that.
Yeah,
Probably been 4 years old as well.
there's a ton to it, and to be fair, the player base as well is still pretty massive because there was no waiting at all for lobbies to be full and games to start. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a really good game for what it is. As you said, like I wouldn't particularly want to play it by myself solo at any given time because I don't know why. It's good crack playing it with the group chat going on at the same time and having the laugh and watching each other
Yeah.
fail and cheering each other on and things like that. But yeah, no, it's a fairly decent game. Not very deep, but not every game needs to
The
have
game, yeah,
in-depth
like it doesn't
mechanics.
need that exactly.
It has a jump button, a grab button, and a dive button. That is all you need.
I think as well because it has the crossplay feature, so it
Hmm.
is console PC and handheld as well.
Yes.
And I know that we did Brawlhalla, which has a similar feature as well, but I think this one feels a bit more at home. Like I would feel more at home playing this on a handheld just as much as I do playing it on a console.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you need no precision in this game at all.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
because precision's impossible. The amount of times I fell off things just trying to walk in a straight line was crazy. But no, it's a fun game. It is fun. I would definitely play it again, but in a group, at least two of us anyway. As I said, I wouldn't want to play it by myself. It's too chaotic, and I think there's very little joy to be had in that unless you win. If you win the game, then it's belter, isn't it? It's a
Yeah. Oh,
belter. Like, let's be honest. But if you're going out
Don't
the
know. I
first,
never have.
I think I've only ever won two, mate.
I've like won like 2 lobbies ever, and it's sheer dumb luck at the end of the day.
A lot of it is down to pure luck, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, what does that do for our league table then? Well, it does this to the league table. There's absolutely no movement in positions from anyone, but everyone has game points. So Sherry is still in fourth place, but now has 6 points. Cardinal is still in third place, but now has 9 points. Tomahawk is still in second, but now has 11 points. And I am first, but now with 15 points. So I'm keeping it up. We're keeping it up. You know, let's just keep on going. Every week, a new game, a new challenge. Who knows what's around the corner? Who knows what could anything can happen? I mean, every season so far, as Tom said in week 2, the person who was leading the podcast after the first episode of any season has not went on to win that season. There's still plenty of time for you boys to take me to task and put me down and keep me down because yeah, I fell last week, got 0 points, cheated out of a game by a bug, poor programming, terrible. Team 17 still haven't got that apology email yet. But here I am again, bouncing back like a true champion. First again, beautiful.
Bouncing back and waffling on.
That's
Take the
it.
3
Loves
points.
a good chat.
Here's the Fall Guys trophy.
It's
GG.
things I love to see. Like it's not my fault. if you gentlemen don't take your opportunity to gloat a little when you win a challenge. It's entirely up to yourselves what happens. But anyway, I think Fall Guys, a very shallow well it was, none of doubt, but I don't think we have anything else to talk about unless anyone has anything.
No, I think we've
I just
covered all
want to
that
say,
needs covered. Like,
for anyone who's listening and can't see us, we're just being polite. We're polite guys. Lova is just enjoying this moment, this wave, and you wait to see what happens later in the season because I've read the script. Okay, I know what's coming.
chat GPT's telling them how this is going to end.
Chat GPT has worked out the odds and averages for everyone to win the league.
Yeah, it wrote me a very successful script about a Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow, and I think it's doing the same here today.
Right.
I
And
think we should wrap
and
this then.
speaking of doing well, I think we would be doing well to leave this section and go into the wrap up section. So let's get there now. That is it. Episode 5 all wrapped up. I've come away with this one. Bounced back from that last place, came back into a first place finish the way the people expect it, the way people want it. No bugs, no cheating, all lava. Beautiful. This is not only a win
Slight
for
luck.
me, it is the start of a new streak. Gentlemen, mark my words. This week I've come first. Next week, who knows? And speaking of next week, what we're playing next week is survival mode in Tricky Towers. Last man
Ooh.
standing. Let's see how we get on with that. A game I don't think I've ever played, but here we
I've
are.
never heard of it.
I've heard of
That's
it.
the joy.
I've just never played it. So guess what will be downloaded straight after we finish recording this? Tricky Towers. The practice begins now. I suggest you boys do the same. So I think, yeah, that's really us. We'll do the social media wrap up then. If you want to find us anywhere on the internet, highscoreshighstakes.com is the place to do it. Click the link, bring you to the social media. There is Twitter, Twitch, Insta, YouTube, and of course Discord. If you just want to go straight to Discord, it is in the description underneath here. Click it, join the servers. If you're playing Helldivers 2, make sure you call into the Helldivers 2, throw in your PSN or Steam name and play with us and play with other members of the community. And then 2 more things to do. 3 more things actually. Question of the week for this week is we have just played Fall Guys, an indie multiplayer game. So my question
That's
for the
true.
audience this week is, what is your favorite indie multiplayer game of all time? I'm thinking things like Quake
Yeah, give me
Heroes,
examples.
Quake Heroes, Rocket League, things like that. Things like that, Cardinal. And
Oh,
then
could this be? Rocket
our
League's a contender.
our poll of the week then is, what should Sherry spend more on? Is it time practicing the challenges, or is it money on more cosmetics? Let us know by voting in the poll. And with all that said, the last thing I have to say is, I've been Mr. Love Lover. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. We'll see you on Monday. Love you all. Bye.
Cheerio.
Auf Wiedersehen.